Welcome back to Severed Sons, everyone. We are a Frostmaiden actual play D&D podcast, and we are excited to bring you Tales of the Frozen North and the Everlasting Rime. My name is Ron Murphy, Dungeon Master, and around the virtual table we have...
Hey, it's Paul. I'm happy you're here.
Hello, this is Ross.
Hey, it's Blake. I'm back.
Hey, I'm Josh.
Hey, it's Zach.
Hey, it's Claire.
Hey!
Again! She's in it to win it.
Oh, you're staying?
If I figure out roll 20.
Is there anything we need to talk about, or should we just jump right in?
We're just happy to all be here.
I know, exciting.
Squad
do it.
Crew.
Okay, Blake, would you like to remove your headphones?
Would he ever?
Suska.
Can you hear me, Blake? Can you hear me, Blake?
The Dodgers suck. yeah, we're good.
Hang on.
Got him.
We're good. I could have said the Jets suck. That's actually true.
If everyone is ready, let's begin tonight's Severed Sons, episode 32, Destruction's Light, part 2. Last time, Spitz joined you in your quest to warn the Ten Towners of the impending attack. On the snowy plains, you met a wizard named Valin Harpel and her entourage of kobolds. She had been following your heroic exploits and wanted to enlist your services, so she gave you a lift on her dog sleds, allowing you a chance to catch up to the dragon. On the journey, Fang seemed preoccupied. Spitz, you convinced two falcons to deliver Trax's recording devices to Speaker Nimsy of Lonelywood and Speaker Masthew of Tourmaline. In the ever-present darkness, you could distantly see the Chardalyn construct flying over Dugan's Hole. The dragon unleashed a beam of radiant energy on the unsuspecting town. Led by Brun, you risked crossing the frozen lake, but Brun's danger sense led you to safety as the dragon had finished destroying most of the buildings in Goodmead. Unable to catch the draconic construct, you reached the main path and were able to gain some speed along the well-traveled byways. At the crossroads, you all had a heated discussion about your destination, which ended when Brun turned his dog sled toward the now besieged East Haven. When you arrived, you joined with the town militia, led by Captain Argalath. The dragon continued to make strafing runs, killing townsfolk and destroying building after building. You confronted the dragon, managing to do it some damage. As the creature fled to the northeast, invisible Duergar attempted to assassinate the captain. You quickly defeated the Dark Dwarves and saved her life. You decided to head to Targos in an attempt to intercept the dragon as it made its destructive sweep over the valley. You stopped outside the gates of Bryn Shander to see a large group of survivors carrying what belongings they could carry and some of their livestock. 25 refugees from Dugan's Hole, including Speaker Edra Dermut, and 73 from Goodmead had survived Zardarok's Chardalyn dragon.
What was that last word? The last two? Zardarok's Chardalyn.
Zardarok's Chardalyn dragon.
That's a vocal warm-up if I've heard one.
Those are made-up words.
And I imparted some information, like a little viewer-only information at the end, but the camera zooms back to you as you're racing across the tundra. You see the wooden walls of Targos in the distance. It's only about a 2-hour drive. You look around, but you do not see the dragon. Like, you don't see that light coming down, like the destructive, burning, radiant beam of energy anywhere. You continue on?
Yeah.
Which dog sled is on the left? I've got Donar and Brun on one dog sled, and Valin and Fang on the middle dog sled, and Spitz and Trax on the right dog sled. And each dog sled has several kobolds hanging on for dear life.
Don't talk to me.
Brun, are you still driving the...
No, I had given it to Donar so I could do a short rest for this one.
Oh, right.
Valin is still driving her dog sled, so Fang, you can take a short rest if you wish. Spitz and Trax. I wrote down Spritz for some reason on that
And
when I
Tax.
was writing it down.
Because that's the inspiration of her name, man. I'm not kidding. It's fun to say.
Trax and Spitz, who's driving your dog sled? Or is the Kobold driving your dog sled?
I think the kobold's still driving.
Yeah, he's like, "Wow, mush, mush, mush," and you hear I did that, and Blake's just like wide-eyed looking at me. It's like,
Don't worry about it.
if you're attempting a short rest, make a Constitution saving throw, DC 12.
15.
Anybody else?
I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I'm driving.
Okay, so Brune's the only one taking that short rest. Okay, it takes you 1 hour because you can go 3 miles an hour on dog sled. So it takes you an hour to get to Targos, and you slide up to the city gates, and there are 12 men guards outside, and they like hold up their hand as you approach. Slide to a stop. What business do you have in Targos?
I'm sorry. Are you aware that 10 towns is under attack?
We are preparing. We do not need any refugees or anything coming into the city right now. Go to Bryn Shander if you need refuge.
Refugees? I'm sorry. We're here to help you defend this town.
And who are you again?
We've been
My
here before.
name is Valin Harpel of the Harpel family. I am been sent by the host tower of the Arcane. Let me in this instant. And you see her snap her fingers, and a spell kind of like magically motes like through the air. And the guard says, Sorry about that. Right away, Miss Harpel.
Refugees?
It's about damn time.
We're not the helpers. We're the help.
And they open the gates wide open, and you slide through.
We haven't been in Targos in a
Yeah,
No, that was like
It's the
session
beginning.
1.
It was.
Yeah.
Also, Spitz, you've seen this before, but outside of Targos, there is a large, about 25 feet high and rather lumpy block of ice with dark shapes that you can see whenever like there's light around inside of it. And you know what that means.
Yes.
So you go inside. Where do you go once you get to inside? You see up ahead, there's like people are being drug out of homes and are trying to get people into like cellars and to safer places. And there's like guards running around. They're trying to find any kind of missile weapon they possibly can. You actually see up ahead, because you come into the gates here, and up on this ridge that overlooks these houses below, closer to the lake, you see 3 ballista. And there are 4 men manning each one. You don't really see anybody in charge. It seems to be a bit of a madhouse. Everybody is hurrying and scurrying along. What do you do?
Surely someone could point us toward Scath. He is the captain of the watch here, is he not?
I agree. I feel like we should talk to him. Help organize, at least give them some strategy on what we've seen at East Haven.
Yes, and according to my notes, the speaker here is Nerith Maxil Danar.
Yes, he's often found at the Luskan Arms, right?
Yes. So, perhaps that is a good place to start.
And there.
Near the ballistas, at the very least.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head to the ballistas. You see the guard, and it looks like the guards. There's like 2 guards who look like they know what they're doing, and the other men's, and there's like some women there they're trying to figure out how to work the ballistas, and they're giving them like quick instructional tips on how to actually work the ballista, and they're not doing a very good job of figuring it out. And the 2 militiamen are actually kind of getting a little rough with them, and the people who are trying to help out are just like they're basically volunteers or inscripted. You don't even know that for sure, but they seem to be getting upset and like kind of scared because they know the dragon is coming.
Brun will go to the group of people that are being, for lack of a better word, harassed by the guard and help out. Just being like, think of it as a large crossbow. You just do this and this and this and that kind of thing.
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I aid him by
Yeah.
While he does that, I'm gonna walk up to the guards and I'm going to say Fang will walk up to them really super professional, as if he knows what he's doing, and he'll say, thank you so much for your service here. It is no longer needed. We will take over from here, but I do need you to locate Scat for me. You do know who Scat is, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do that. He should be somewhere. I think he is back at the Luskan Arms. He's trying to... They're at the war room is what they're calling it.
Wonderful. Find him. Tell him that we are here. My name is Fang. He will recognize it. And tell him that we are right here at the ballista.
Brun, make a persuasion or performance check.
Oh, they'll be the same.
He's quite the performer.
Can he roll it at
But you're at advantage.
Option.
Yeah, you're at advantage, so...
Thank God, because I got a 7 and a dirty 20.
Hey, nice.
For the advantage.
Nice, okay.
Praise Fang.
The guards, the people who are volunteers are like, okay, I think we can do this, and they like your patient explanation of how it works. Really,
Yeah, he's very much kind of the like smart. He's putting on that wise old man persona, like not the opposite of the guards. He's helpful and slow and is thumbs up.
Okay,
very good.
Everybody make an insight check.
17.
14.
19.
12.
Oh no, well yeah, you can get this too, Fang. The two guards who are actually in the militia are terrified.
Yeah, Fang would have probably sensed that, and giving them orders is probably helpful for them.
Are all of the ballistas manned, or did we send away people from the other two?
You sent away 2 people, but they have like people in relief.
Okay, great.
So they have can come in and take over.
Cool.
And take their station. You see there's also 3 people who are like scanning the horizon, what they can see like over the lake. You can actually see a few. Actually, from this distance, and the sky is somewhat clear right now, you can see the lights of Tourmaline, and you can also see a few lights of Lonelywood. But as you watch, the lights go out and like blink out.
Do we see the beams?
No, you do not. And suddenly Lonelywood just goes dark.
Ron, meta question. Are we going to have time for a long rest here? Because I'm going to do something if we do.
That was a shrug.
You can choose to start a long rest, and if it gets interrupted,
It says,
I think
fuck around, find out.
So while they're doing that, then I'm going to start my long rest.
okay. If it gets interrupted, you have to start it all over again.
All right. Yeah. So I am going to find, as part of my long rest, I'm just flavoring my long rest, so this makes more sense. I'm going to find a pottery shop.
Make an investigation.
That's a 27.
Oh God! You go like one house down.
Oh,
and
there it
there's
is.
like pottery barn.
The barn of pottery. Let me go in.
I mean, you're walking away, right?
Yeah, I imagine we're like walking, and I see it. I see the barn of pottery, and I go. There's like little light bulb on Trax, and he goes and he just like, I'll be right back. I'll catch up.
What? Where are you going?
Just next door. These people don't know what they're doing with these machines. Let's help them.
I agree.
Okay,
I do think there are potentially some people who are a bit worse for wear, and if you want to try to get some rest before what we have ahead, Brood and I could probably get you if we need to before you're ready.
Fang, what do you think? Do you think you could use a little sit down?
Yes, I could certainly use a rest. It's been quite a day, but how can I justify sitting and doing nothing? these people are scared that this dragon is
The
coming.
rest
He's
could
upset.
the rest could be exactly what you need.
And I think that Brun and I seem well. Hello, Turtle. From what I could tell, you're quite skilled with some weapons, and I am too. So we might be the two people that are best suited for staying with the villagers and trying to make them feel more prepared for these
Agreed.
things.
These guards do not know how to handle the villagers.
No, and I have some of these spare weapons that I picked up earlier, and I could teach some of the folks how to use them and just do our best to be a calm presence. Because we need you at full strength, if we can.
Fang, how about this, dude? How about we find a place to sit down, and then we can make like a battle map scenario, and we can talk about like where people should be situated, because we know this town well. We can be productive and also rest their feet.
Yes, you have convinced me. I do agree. I am not at my 100%. The Three Flags Sailing Tavern, if I'm not mistaken, is that direction. And perhaps we will find Ethel there, or Ma. She like to be called.
That's right.
Maybe. Oh, tie one on while we're. Fang is very, like, rubbing his eyes, just like, kind of frazzled about the whole situation.
All right. Donar's clocking this. Donar's going to put a hand on his shoulder and kind of steer him in that direction and say, all right, we can go talk to Ma, dude. We're going to do one step at a time.
If we don't see you before it's time, we'll come get you.
And as he's pulling...
Thanks, pal. I believe you will.
Pulling Fang away, he's definitely turning around, like, looking at Brun and Spitz, being like, be careful, please. Just... And he's, like, spitting over his words and stumbling a little bit. He's tired.
I got you, dude. Don't worry about it. I knew we're going to figure it out.
Thank you, Donar. Thanks.
No problem.
So Fang is heading to Three Flags Sailing
with Donar.
Trax is going to the pottery barn. And
That's so funny.
and
That's canon now.
So what, Brun and Spitz, what are you doing?
Maybe we should split up.
Perhaps.
Find people who need help.
I'd like to find a couple of archers who can make use of these arrows. And just take aim of anybody who feels like they're ready to fight and prepare people.
You see, from your vantage point on the bluff, down by the docks, you don't see any archers, but you do see some militiamen and women working with javelins. And they seem to be like working with javelins and practicing throwing them at targets. And
Perfect.
so they don't have, they're fishermen. They have javelins. They don't have like fish hooks. They don't really have archers here, but they do have ballista. So what are you going to do, Spitz? Where are you going to go?
I think Spitz would check with Brun to see if he feels more comfortable staying with the ballistas, and she would go down and work with people with javelins.
Yes, the ballistas are a good start. When they are comfortable, I will find more groups willing to fight. I have never fought a dragon. I don't know the best weapons to use, but I'm quite imaginative with the weapons.
Similarly, if you find anybody who wants to learn with some javelins, I'll be down there, and you can send them my way.
Absolutely. And Brun will give her 4 of his, so he can keep 1, and you can have 4 more to work with.
I have 11 now.
So Spitz and I'm going to make sure Spitz and Brun went together down to the docks, or
I think Spitz went down to the docks. Brun is
staying at the ballistas.
Ballistas.
Got it. Okay, because I saw Brun move. That's why I was.
I wasn't sure where the ballistas were.
It's up here on this ridge right here.
Oh, okay, great.
Spitz, when you get down to the docks, there is you see people working, and you see a large red-skinned tiefling come out of this building with the Luskan Arms. And the Luskan Arms is this tavern that looks like kind of a Luskan sailing ship. It has like the part that overlooks the porch looks like the bow of a ship. and it has the Luskan flag flying over it. You see a red-skinned tiefling come out gruff, and you see kind of like he's got a man, he's dragging a man behind him. He's like, what do you mean? Are you sure you said it? His name was Fang, right? Fang?
Oh, hello.
Who are you?
You must be Scath?
Yes, I'm Captain Scath. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Spitz. You may have heard of me. You probably heard me called the Bear Lady. I am now friends, acquaintances, work partners with Fang and that group of
Oh,
folks.
so it's true. And he pushes the man, and the guy runs back up to the ballistas. And he says, so, you've come to help defend the town?
You sure have.
Is Kai with you?
No, I don't know who that is.
Interesting. Where are the rest of your friends?
Well, Brun is up there, working with the folk at the ballistas, trying to get them all trained up. I was going to help out the folks who are trying to work with javelins. I have a lot of experience with that. And to be frank with you, the rest of the group is looking a bit worse for wear. So they're doing their best to prepare for the battle to come, trying to get some rest, so we can have them at full health. So right now it's just the two of us doing what we can.
It's good to have all of you here to help defend Targos.
We're able to help East Haven a bit.
That's good.
We're
So
only
you
sad we
saw
couldn't
it.
do
You
more.
saw the dragon.
Sure did. Yeah, it's large. We managed to get some hits on it, so we know that it's not invincible.
Good.
Which gives us hope.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
That is what I would really like to do. Glad we're on the same page.
Where are the rest of your friends? Where are the rest of them? Fangs up by the ballista?
No, so I believe that Fang and Donar went to one of the taverns just down that way.
Oh, Three Flags, yes.
Yes, and Brun is up at the ballistas, and Trax went to Pottery Barn.
Little asshole.
I don't know what that little guy is up to. He's a small lizard.
He's a small asshole is what he is.
That's very true. I just spent about 8 hours on a dog sled with him.
I'm
Wait.
truly sorry.
Would Scath know who
Thank
Brun
you.
is?
No, he would not know who
Oh.
because
I've been waiting for that.
sorry, it's in my brain.
That
it's
hasn't
like
come up yet.
It's easy for us, yeah.
Sorry, we'll recap. Let's like
Yeah.
so
And
who is Brun?
the turtle? I'm pretty sure that's his name.
His name wasn't Mud.
No. I mean, I only met him today, so I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's Brun.
Maybe it's his
old
brother or
turtle?
something. I don't know. So.
It could be, honestly. Who's to say what's going on? There's some strange lads. Good hearts, though.
We'll tell you what.
It's a tagline.
So you are officially conscripted into the Targos militia.
That sounds great.
Would you like to help train these losers down here at the docks to try to maybe give them some instruction on how to save their miserable lives?
I might use a little bit more encouraging words than that. But yes, I would love to.
Very well. I will see if I can find Fang and Donar at the Three Flags.
That sounds wonderful. Nice to meet ya.
And he just grumpily, like he pulls his sword out actually from his back, and just like huffs it up the hill, and like down towards the Three Flags. Fang and Donar.
Donar's got a hand on his shoulder. He's like, all right, dude, we just one thing at a time, because if you try to conquer the whole thing, then not a lot's going to get done. We'll get you some good food, some good meat. Oh, sorry. We'll get you some... We can cut that. We'll get you some good... We can make ourselves a battle plan.
Too soon.
He says good meat and Fang says, ah!
Dude, I promise, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. It really just came out. But that's the thing. We keep that in mind, and we can help people as long as we take care of ourselves too. Because if you don't do that, no one will.
Do you really think that it is conquerable?
At least on some level, yeah. I mean, look, dude, we've seen a lot of destruction in the past day. Like, some shit's gonna get destroyed. And as long as we accept that, and then we work from there to try to save as many people as we can, rather than, like, saving literally everything, we can be realistic about it. We've conquered shit before. We'll conquer this too.
I certainly hope you're right, Donar. You are... I must admit, you are a little more optimistic than I am about this predicament that we find ourselves in, but
For sure.
I have never hoped more that you are correct.
I'm glad. We've only known each other for 3 weeks, so I'm really hoping to...
Has it really been that long? It feels like much longer.
I get it. It feels like it's been almost a year, right? But listen, dude, I figure realism and optimism can go hand in hand, and as long as we have both, that'll yield the best possible outcome. No reason not to be a little optimistic.
My mother used to say, when you worry, you suffer twice. I suppose you are right.
My mother used to say, here's an egg, monastery. So I'll take those words, Fang. I appreciate it.
You're a weird guy, though.
I had the thought to make that, like, serious.
I think you almost killed Claire.
Fang is like...
Here's an egg!
sleeping.
Made me just choke on a Cheeto. Jesus.
You're a weird guy, Donar.
Fang's walking like... Oh, he's like nodding his head about it, but he's just, you're a weird guy.
As you approach the Three Flags sailing, you see there's a few people outside, and they're like watching the skies to the north. But you also see this red-haired woman, short, lithe, very, very muscular, but very like looks like she can handle her own. But she looks a little like sickly, a little undernourished. And she's wearing torn leather armor, and she's arguing with this albino tiefling wearing these furs, these white furs. Fang, make a history check.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Ron?
Yeah.
That's a natural one.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, there you
that?
go. Okay.
I know shit, but Fang is too tired to notice, and that's a shame.
And also,
because this is about to get interesting.
Mm-hmm. And they seem to be having an argument. They're being really hushed, and they're pointing to something back inside the tavern. The tiefling looks familiar to you.
Fang will stare at her for a second as they approach, waiting to see if she makes eye contact with him, but he won't reach out. Just trying to figure it out right now.
Got it. As you look, like your view lingers a little bit too long. Suddenly, from around the corner of the bar, who wasn't this stone-looking gargoyle, big, about 6 feet tall and almost as wide, and comes around the corner and looking at you. What are you looking at, little one? Move along.
You put yourself in front of me. I don't know. I didn't start this, right?
Yeah, no, we're just walking, dude. What's happening here?
The people who are arguing do not seem to be as aware. Like the gargoyle seems to be whispering, and he's actually a gargoyle made of stone, talking to you right now.
Fang. So we're inside the tavern at this point.
Not yet. Not yet. Outside.
We're
the tavern.
outside. He says, we have business here. We simply come to rest our weary eyes for a
Then
moment.
go inside.
We intend to. Nobody started anything, okay?
Yep, we're all on the same page here. Donar's going to put a hand on his shoulder and say, all right, look, we're here to help. We're here to help everybody. I don't know what we did to piss you off, but just know that we're all on the same side, all right? We can all have a good day. Yeah, okay, this guy's an asshole. Fang, let's go inside.
Yeah. Fang,
he's just like giving you like the evil eyes, staring at you. He's just like
Fang will-
staring deeply, like trying to like intimidate you, but
Fang walks by and keeps the gaze, as the alpha would. He will not break the gaze first, and as he passes, he'll just under his breath a little bit until he's finally like. If he keeps walking, he'll break the gaze as a power move.
You also, as you go inside, you hear the albino tiefling say, "Good job, Gurgle." Inside, the first unusual thing, you see Ma behind the bar, and she's like, there's a few people in here, but nobody's drinking, and the few people that are in here look very, very scared. Standing on the bar is this raven, and it's just kind of like, it looks at you immediately, like as you come in, it looks at you. And Ma's like, you see her like her back to you, and she's got this rag, and the rag is like red, almost covered in blood, and she's like rinsing it out. She doesn't see him.
All right, Fang. What do you figure, dude? Where do you want to focus your energy?
I simply need to rest. If I remember correctly, Fang looks around for the common area. I think that there was.
Yeah, you look back to the common area, which has been cleared out since the last time you were here, and you see somebody on a bed back there.
Yeah, I think there's someone.
His entire body is bandaged, and you see like this blood coming through the bandages, and he's unconscious.
Fang, is that? Look at the freaking body back there in the common area, dude.
He's breathing. And Ma turns around at Donor's voice and says, Fang, you made it. And she like grabs you and Donar and pulls you into the room.
Yeah, all right.
This wizard out here appeared with this woman named Ryan, and they brought Kai in here. I don't know any healing magic. He nearly died. He's very hurt.
Fang will immediately drop to one knee with new vigor, or both knees, I'll say, and he does a quick medicine check and immediately burns a first level cure wounds.
Okay, do the medicine check first.
Oh yeah, 11.
It's enough. He has radiant burns all over his body.
And Fang just like and kind of under his breath, he mutters a few things in his Russian-esque language, but it just looks like something that he could heal.
Yeah.
Then Fang will drop a second level cure wounds instead of the first.
And you see some of the burns start to knit together, and the blood is still there in the bandages. But Kai,
11
hit points. You gain back 11 hit points, Kai. And you wake up and you see Fang and Donar and Ma from the Three Flags Sailing Tavern standing over you.
Hey, dude.
Oh, this isn't what I thought the Nine Hells would look like.
All right. Okay.
Hi, you're in Targos right now. We're at the Three Flags Sailing Tavern. Are you all right?
Yeah, I found your dragon in Caer Dineval.
Yeah, freaking, we can see.
Did Avarice bring me back here?
Does that spark anything?
Rings the bell. That rings the bell. It's the
Fang
tiefling.
puts a big fucking puzzle together, and his eyes get really wide at that. And he looks up at Donar and he says, "I'm so stupid." And Fang gets up and at that and walks out, like rushes out.
Okay.
Donar's going to go to Kai, and do I give it? Fang, he's doing like a back and forth thing, and he's going to say, "Kai, just keep laying down. Fang's had a rough day. I'm just going to give it him real fast."
Donar, and Ma gives you 4 or 5 dirty rags. Take those to the basin back there. Clean them out. He's still hurt.
Okay, I will not get with Fang. I will clean the rags. I will do that.
Help your friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to help everybody. It's a lot, but you're right. Clean the rags.
One person at a time, Donar.
I was just telling that to Fang. Oh, it's like you know. All right, cool. We're back.
You rush outside, Fang, and you see the red-haired woman talking to Avarice. A second gargoyle has joined the first one, and they're kind of They're like up against the side of the building protectively, kind of trying to brace against the wind. The gargoyles are just looking out, making sure no one is watching or getting close to them. What do you do?
Fang will rummage in his pocket, and pull out the piece of paper that
Mhm.
Avarice dropped to him, and just a little too loud, he'll say, "Little cleric, Levistus has told me about you and the Dragonborn. You could be useful. Come back in a day or two."
And suddenly, Avarice does this slow burn look at you.
And Fang just holds up the piece of paper. "Here I am."
What are you doing in Targos? You're very far away from the east side of the Dale.
As are you. I am doing here what we are all doing, is simply trying to survive.
Question. Kai, when you all went to Caer Dineval, you were wearing the mask, correct?
And I do not have it anymore.
Avarice looks at you, Fang, and says, well, and you see Ryan, the woman that you were told was named Ryan, say, I can get us to a safe house. We have to go now. We need to get Kai, and we need to go now. And Avarice says, I think these people can help us.
Fang says, is it you that brought Kai? And he looks at Avarice, not Ryan.
He came back to the Caer. I don't know how he got downstairs, but he came to my room, kind of stumbled into my room, somehow activated some brown mold and almost killed himself, the fool.
And you brought him here?
He kept mumbling Targos. And also, apparently, and Ryan says, I know people here. We have to get somewhere safe. That dragon is nothing to laugh at.
We just came from East Haven, who put up quite a fight against the dragon. We helped them. I think that we could possibly do some help here, and maybe save at least half of Targos. You can perhaps take Kai if he needs to rest, but I cannot speak for the rest of us. And as he says that, he looks at Avarice.
Avarice says, that fool Kai. We were running away from the Caer when the dragon attacked. We saw the dragon starting to destroy building after building, killing anything that moved. The fool ran right into danger.
You don't say. And Fang kind of smirks at that a little bit.
He's not quite the asshole I thought he was when we first talked.
Fang says, well, I'm grateful for whatever help you gave him. Like I said, I do not know that we can leave Targos in this moment, but you forgive me. Is it Ryan? Do you have a safe house?
Ryan Rockwell yes, Ryan Rockwell.
And where is this safe house?
I have to take you there.
Bang, he says, I will speak to my compatriots about it, but I will not speak for them.
Screw this! And she runs inside. Actually, she says, fuck this, and runs inside.
Who, Ryan or Avarice?
Ryan. Avarice is like, you should have seen them kissing. It was quite a beautiful thing.
I'm sorry. Kai?
Inside, Donar, you see this red-haired woman that was outside arguing with the tiefling, and she runs right over to Kai, and like she gasps and like runs to Kai's side. It's like, you're awake. Are you? And she like kind of like starts patting and like seeing like the burns have like healed slightly from the cure light wounds.
Dude, careful with him, dude. Pat him down too hard. I don't know you. What are you doing, Kai? What do you do? This person.
She's fine.
She may be fine, but like, who is she, Kai?
She's an old friend.
And Ryan looks at you. It's like,
it's been a while.
Like that kind of friend. Okay. Should I? But like, Kai, I just tried to leave the room, and Ma got so mad at me. So I'm gonna stay and like pat down your things. But if y'all got to talk,
you're still hurt, Kai.
No, I'm all right.
Okay. I'll just kind of sit down and wait for someone to tell me what to do.
Actually, Ma yells, Donar, get in here. I've got some broth on the stove.
I'm so tired. Okay. All right. Kai, we're not done. And then Donar's going to leave.
Kai, Ryan sits on the bed next to you and says, I have a safe house we can go to right now, and we can escape the dragon.
Is it them?
We can well, and she looks around and says, the person you're looking for might be there. It's in Bryn Shander. We have to go now, though.
If we leave now, the dragon will just end up coming back to Bryn Shander. Look, I couldn't take it alone, but with these people, we stand a better chance.
Who are these people, Kai? You've always worked alone.
I worked with you and Max.
Things change. It's been a long time.
It has. I'm working with a team again.
She laughs a little bit and says, be nice to see you in action then.
You're staying?
We'll see.
Good.
Donar, you heard that whole thing.
I didn't mean to. Just focusing on the broth.
Okay.
You're fine. If we wanted anything to be a secret, you wouldn't know about it.
That's true. Kai keeps a lot of secrets, but you get it.
Outside, Avarice says, listen, that dragon is, I saw its power. It's dangerous. You say you know how to fight this thing?
Well, I wouldn't say that we know how to fight it necessarily, but we have. We have seen it, at the very least, chipped once or twice. It is not. It is a construct. And we could hear it was mechanical almost.
And it's made of. We saw it. It looked like to be made of some sort of stone, perhaps Chardelin?
Yes, it is quite dangerous indeed. Do you think Targos has a chance? Or do... East Haven, half of the city was burned before it moved on, but it did move on.
About 3/4 of Caer Dineval is burned to the ground.
There will not be an Icewind Dale left very soon.
We have to stop it.
And, I'm sorry, why? What did this note mean? Fang holds it up again. He says,
I was getting bored of being cooped up at that castle. I need some help finding something.
I'm sure we can put that on the list after. I
understand there's a lot of things we have to do before we can even think about bigger opportunities.
But you do say that you are on the side of the Dale? You are not a Duragar agent or anything of the sort?
The deep dwarves? No.
Insight check.
Perhaps I can help you find them. If there's any in town, I can see invisibility.
Oh, well, as you may or may not have noticed, as can I.
I made sure that once I knew about the Duragar's attack to prepare that spell.
That is a 17 on insight.
What were you trying to find out?
Just her when
demeanor?
she said that she wasn't on their side. And I said, "Are you a Duragar agent?"
She is telling the truth. She seems the destruction of 10 towns seems to be against. She needs 10 towns alive. She doesn't want to see the city destroyed. She needs the resources of 10 towns.
Avarice, I hope that our meeting is well, I hope it proves beneficial for all of us. I sincerely hope to see you standing with us against this monstrosity, but should you decide to leave, I will not blame you. But I do think that we will be staying. The group has anything to say about it.
Well, I have Gargle and Gurgle here to help me, to protect me. I should be safe. And and she points to the skies, and you see this raven. Actually, Donar, you see this raven, the raven that's on the bar, go to the door and pick at the door, and it looks at you and pecks at the door.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Picks at the door.
I'm gonna leave my broth, and I'm gonna walk over, and I'm gonna crack open the door.
Okay, and the raven hops out, and Avarice says to Fang, "This is Skelm, my familiar." It lands on her arm, and she launches it into the air, and Skelm is like, "Boom!" Skelm will be my eyes, and warn us if anything is approaching.
That is a good plan. Thank you. Forgive me. I left some important matters inside. To join me?
I'll wait out here. I feel a little cramped inside with somebody I thought was incredibly attractive, and now I'm just not so sure anymore. especially since they're apparently taken. So
Not that, short that his baggage I do not want any part of. So I will be right back. And Fang will walk inside.
awkwardly.
Donar left the door cracked because he's used to hearing
Fang,
secrets now.
make a perception roll.
18.
She's definitely checking you out as you go inside.
Christ. All right. Fang just awkwardly shuffles in.
Let's go to actually, let's go to Brun. I've been to Brun in a while. Brun, what are you doing?
Brun has done what he can, probably with the ballista people, and just told them how to load it, and maybe we've practiced a few times. And then he's just going to kind of sort of wander the town looking for other people trying to fight. Like, he's very much tapped into his kind of old life of, like, sensei of the village and training people to fight. Obviously, these people are way less trained than he's worked with, but this is like his element of getting these town people. He's defended plenty of towns in his lifetime.
Yes.
And this is his element of, like, these are your positions. He knows the layout of Targos, like, literally memorized. He knows where javelin people would be best, other spearmen, other things. So he's just trying to make the town as efficient as possible.
Okay. As you're kind of like moving around the town and gathering up people who can fight, you see a group of non-combatants, like youngsters, kids, some women, some men, about a group of about 30 or 40 people. And you see 3 dog sleds, and you see Garrett and Keegan, and they're loading on supplies, as many supplies as they can get onto the dog sleds. And they've got another sleigh, and they're trying to get as many people onto the sleigh, and they're hooking up axe beaks to it right now. I don't know if they see you because they're really working hard trying to get this done, they're obviously going to be leaving quite soon. They've got everything pointed toward the gates of the town.
Sure.
Do you do anything?
Does it look handled? Like, is there enough?
They're handled. Like Garrett,
people?
It looks like it's handled. It looks like they'll be crowded, and they may be way down where they kind of slow down a bit. Garrett and Keegan look like they have. Garrett mostly has it handled, like in charge.
Great. Brun, he's spent some time with the other people. He can take this opportunity to kind of raise some spirits and maybe talk to the fleeing people as well as the 2 helping. So he'll go over to them and just see if they're
Okay. Keegan actually looks at you and says, Mud, hi. It's been a while. Nice to see you.
It has. It's Brun now, but yes, it has.
Oh, Brun.
Good to see you as well.
Nice to meet you, Brun. You're the same turtle, right?
I am the same turtle. It's a bit of a turtle thing. How are you doing? How are these people?
Very scared. I think we need to get to Bryn Shander. These are some of our friends, family friends. We don't think the town has much of a, if the dragon gets here. But knowing that you all are here, perhaps, and you see Keegan, Garrett, like waving at you. Are you here to fight?
We are. We will do our best. We fought earlier at East Haven and fended the dragon off, in fact.
Excellent.
If we cannot defeat it here, perhaps we can save part of it. Our goal is to stop it from ever getting to Bryn Shander. So hopefully you will be safe.
Stay strong. Stay strong. And Garrett just keeps goofing. Keegan goes up to you and says, I finished those items that you asked for. That several of you asked for, actually.
I'd almost forgotten.
And I want to recall, I think I remember some of them. I want to make sure that everybody...
I remember mine.
Okay. What was yours, Brun?
I had an Aarakocra and a lizard, or a bird and a lizard.
Bird and a lizard, and he takes it out. It's like carefully wrapped. He holds it out to you, takes it out of a small little pine box, and hands it to you. And it's like, it's fragile, so you'll need to keep it in the box to keep it from getting broken. But
of course,
and
I cannot thank you enough for these.
Did anybody else have, Kai? What did you have? A mask? Yeah, it's a mask that actually looks very similar to the one that Kai was wearing a few days ago.
But it's all white.
I feel like Fang had a thing. Did Fang have a thing?
Fang did have a thing. I know what it is. And he also takes out this bigger pine box and takes it out and shows you. And it's of an older man standing next to a woman with vaguely hyena features.
Cool.
And he closes it up and is like, keep these safe. These were quite valuable. And probably in the case of this one, and she hands you Fang's box, quite personal as well.
Is there anything I can do for these people, for you?
Kill the dragon.
We will do our best.
Stay safe. And he gives you a hug.
To the group, just kind of huddling, Bruno just kind of raise his fist and say, things are dire, friends, but do not give up hope. Hope is something that you give to yourself. That is your true inner strength. Be well. And he'll go back to his training.
And you see some of this, they seem a little bit stronger. They take your words to heart. Keegan and Garrett finish loading everything, and the gates open, and the dog sleds and the cart head out into the tundra. Spitz, you're training some javelin fighters, javelineers. How do you?
Javelists?
Javelis.
I'm Googling this.
Javeliniers.
I like to think that before she went up to started talking to them, she was like,
Javelin air.
it's okay, Spitz. You know what you're doing. You can do this. It's fine. It's good. She probably has not talked to this many people before. And she's been spending her time, because this is something that she feels comfortable with, she's just really doing everything she can to make sure that people are ready for what's going to happen, making sure that if they need rest, that they're going to do that, making sure that they're fed, that they're prepared. Like, not only is she doing the, like, adjust your form, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But the, like,
Mental
be
preparation.
in the best mental state,
yeah,
too, because she needs it as well.
Brun and Spitz take an inspiration.
Ooh.
Spitz, you notice as you're doing this, you see Velen and her kobold entourage kind of just watching you.
He gives a wave,
Just waving.
like a little...
Do you need anything, dear?
Not that I can think of, but I guess if you know anybody who could make better use of this heavy crossbow, that might be good.
Oh, here, let me see. And she takes the crossbow and gives it to a kobold who immediately falls over.
Maybe two of them?
Perhaps.
On that?
Oh, maybe three. And she points to three of them. One of them a zombie, and they go over and one's holding it up, and there's two. One's kind of going to be aiming it, and the other's going to fire.
Yeah. Spitz is going to kneel down to them and just say, "Thank you very much. You've been very helpful this whole time. I know that the other kobold was maybe a little mean to ya, but it's okay. We really appreciate everything you're doing for us."
Okay. And the one that's the zombie goes,
You scare me a little bit.
You can see its ribs through a ass. Actually, you see it looks like its armor has acid burns in it, and you can see flesh exposed, this green flesh underneath.
Oh, that's horrible. Spitz won't look at that for very long. Yeah, I mean, she's mostly just doing what she can.
Valen's just kind of hanging out. She seems to be observing, but she's been doing that. She's definitely been doing that. But since you're the only one here right now,
which tracks? If Valen is looking for conversation, Spitz will do her best, but she can only really think about how the dragon is coming and how she wants to murder it.
She says to you, "So how long have you been with the stories I heard about the heroes who are helping the towns? They didn't mention a bear woman before."
No,
but I have heard of you.
I have a reputation of my own. I'm starting to get one. I
know you're
like
not.
To think
I know you're not her, but you are getting a reputation. So.
Yes. Oh no, she's something spectacular, and it's an honor to be mistaken for her on occasion. No, I like to think that I saved these lads' asses about a day ago.
They seem the type to get kind of caught up in things and probably need the asses saving.
Truly. Hopefully they will return the favor here. I think they
And
will.
hopefully, when all this is said and done, that you all can help me.
I suppose that depends on what you're looking for.
I just need some help finding a lost civilization.
That's very, particular.
It is a very particular thing. I had some friends up here. It was supposed to be a group of us searching, but we had a falling out. And cut to the Three Flags sailing as the door, as Fang goes inside. But about 2 seconds later, Captain Scath kicks the door, like, boom, in. It's like, Fang! Where are you son of a bitch?
At which point Fang whips around and he says, how you doing, you son of a bitch? I like that. That's funny. And he walks over to
Well,
him.
Kai's not here, and apparently, according to the bear woman I talked to, wait a second. Come here, you son of a bitch! And he goes over and actually grabs Kai and pulls him out of the bed. You don't look that hurt.
Yeah, not too bad.
You ready to save this fucking town?
I guess.
What's going on out there? I'm here working on the broth. I can't see anything. Is that Scath?
You finished it. It was just she put some chicken broth on to serve Kai.
I spiced it up and made sure to add some turmeric for its anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
I pull Scath in
Good
a little
shit.
bit closer and just say, hey, bad move on the cauldron.
It wasn't my call. Speaker Nereth wanted it. I had to keep him happy.
We'll talk more about it later. And just kind of backs up and gives that like, ha smile.
So Scath kind of looks at all of you and says, where's the funny looking one?
Oh, that could be. Who are you talking about?
It's a lot of people.
They all look a little funny.
I'm going to go out on a branch here.
The annoying asshole that's not Kai.
The little
Yes,
one.
that's why Trax. He actually is somewhere in town. He walked into a pottery barn with a strange idea look on his face.
I
and-
told him it was a bad name when they opened the place.
No, they're franchising, dude. It's good for business.
This will be headquarters. It will be the first one. If it catches on.
Yeah, that's right.
But Trax is presumably still there. Doing, not Fultus knows what. I'm not sure.
As you finish that sentence, suddenly the door opens and Avarice pushes the door open and says, come outside now.
Fang will be the first one out the door. He'll rush.
Yeah, they're not gonna fall.
Kyle throw an
Um,
arm around Ryan. Walk out gingerly with her.
Maul actually puts a coat over her.
Is gingerly a joke?
Hey!
That's what I was
No.
thinking.
It is now.
That's good.
Yay!
You walk outside slowly. You notice that the sounds of the bustling town preparing for war have grown silent. And you see flashes of light across the lake. And it seems to be those beams of yellow energy just beaming down at this distance, just slight slivers of light. And you can hear echoes of explosions like rolling across the lake, as you can hear Tourmaline being attacked. You can't see the dragon from this distance, but you can see the lights.
Do I remember the trajectory that Trax told us / wrote down?
He only saw it as far as Tourmaline.
Oh, okay.
So that's
I did say that I predicted that it was going in like a counterclockwise motion.
counterclockwise way, but he only saw it go as far as Tourmaline.
Fang, without taking his eyes off it, he'll say, "It will not be long before it arrives here." We must be as ready as we can. If possible, evacuate all children and
There's a group of survivors. There's a group of cowards, what Scath says. A group of cowards heading to Bryn Shander.
And Fang whips around and he says, if you think that fighting for your life or that surviving is cowardly, then we have very different definitions.
Then we'll have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, we will talk later if you want to keep speaking up like that, but everyone is scared right now. We deal with this together. And Fang turns back to the dragon. Without taking his eyes off it, he says, I don't think that Trax should be alone right now.
Let's go to Trax. That will be 4 gold pieces, 7 silver,
All right, hang on, slow down.
And a copper nib.
All right, hang on, I got the nib in there somewhere. Okay, here you go. And are you sure that is all that you have?
What were you buying?
I wasn't sure if we were doing like a just keep going thing. So, rewind, Trax kicks down the door and he says, I need all the ceramic tile you have. What you're going to hear is I need a lot of ceramic tile, but I need all the ceramic tile that you have.
Well, normally we're not one of the big cities. We just do decorative things here. We have a little bit, but it's more for kitchen work.
That's perfect. Anything that might be around a fire pit, a fireplace, an oven, a stove, a kettle.
Okay, that will be 4 gold
All right,
pieces.
yeah, hang on, slow down.
Times.
I got the nib, hang on. Do you have a workspace? Do you have a work... I have another nib if you'll let me use your workspace.
The forge is cold right now.
Oh, thank you very much.
We didn't want to attract the dragon's attention because of the smoke bellowing from the smokestack.
Oh, don't worry. I don't need the forge. I just need a space to work.
Okay, that'll be 5 gold pieces. Rental.
5 gold? Do I have 5 gold? Yeah.
Sucks when no one else's wallets are around, Trax.
You know what? I feel like I can hear Fang saying something about me paying for myself. Here's 10 gold. Keep the change.
Well, thank you, sir. Would you like a receipt?
You know what? Yes, I would take a receipt, yes. I'll try and write this off.
And he writes out slowly and tears it off the notepad and hands it to you. He's in no hurry. He's kind of an older man, like really like hand shaking as he's writing down.
And as he walks away, he says, well, you're not in a hurry because you're going to die anyway soon, so...
Jesus Christ.
So you go out to the forge. And it's like a workshop, and it has some tools back there.
So, if we complete the long rest, if I can complete the long rest, Trax is going to spend time. So I'm flavoring this as one of my spell infusions is an armor of resistance, and so I am going to attach the ceramic tile on his plate mail to make it heat resistant.
So radiant resistant?
Yes.
Because it has to be specific.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just, it's a long rest.
You're taking an infusion that you've prepared.
Yes. So I'm just switching my infusion over from my robes of mind sharpening over to...
Okay. Trax is building a space shuttle, I think.
That's essentially where I got the inspiration.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research on tile.
Most of the group is at the Three Flags sailing along with a bunch of people. Spitz is still at the docks helping gather up the troops with Valen, and Brun is patrolling the town. Everybody saw the drag because everything just came to a complete stop as people looked across the lake. And the destruction seems to go on and on.
Have the dog sleds and sleigh left?
They left, yes. Right after you, as you were walking away, you heard the gates open.
Perfect.
And they went through and headed toward Bryn Shander. What would all of you like to do?
When Fang said we shouldn't leave Trax alone, Donar would say, I'll go find him, don't worry about it. I'll go to pottery barn.
And Fang, he says, I would be very grateful. I feared that I I truly must rest. I've gotten excited in everything that has happened, but I have to at least try. If I can be at full health for this, I would prefer to be.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Need me to do anything else?
How much time do we have?
That I do not know. It looks
Scath says, do you think they'll head here straight across? Do you think they'll head to Lonelywood? Lonelywood's not much of a target.
we know that it is most likely moving in a clockwise pattern, starting with Dugan's Hole. So, if you can think of the map in your head, what would come next after Tourmaline? Fang closes his eyes, tries to imagine that.
Lonelywood is to the northwest. Bremen, which you've never been to, is kind of west, a little bit like southwest.
Sorry, Bremen, we have
From
no
Tourmaline.
emotional attachment to you.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's a different animation. It's
Yeah.
the untouched.
That's us, but Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
And Bremen is only 1.5 miles from Targos to the northwest.
I know that Spitz is not part of this conversation, but she would absolutely be clocking the fact that the dragon made it to what she assumes is Tourmaline, and using, because she's been paying as close of attention to the timeline as possible, using her knowledge of the 10 towns, and she would be frantically attempting to figure out an estimate of how much time they have.
Knowing how fast if the dragon went to Lonelywood, then to Bremen, then to Targos, without stopping, it would be about 2.5 hours. But you know that the dragon has been spending some serious time in each city.
That's both good and bad.
I'm
Also,
imagining
with
just
that
raising it to the ground.
information, Spitz would try to find the folks in the party and give them that, and then go back.
Yeah, you know the locations of the taverns, like the three. They're obviously not at the Luskan Arms, so they may be at Three Flag Sailing. They also could be at Triglio, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah, she knows what order or what direction they're in, so she's probably heading that way.
What are the people, Brun? Actually, Brun, you think you've gotten everybody who's an able fighter,
Great.
ready to help defend the town.
Have we gotten any sort of influx from Bremen at all? Have there been any refugees from Bremen?
There have not been. Make an investigation check for me.
15.
Oh, that's good enough. Bremen is Targos is a fishing city, but it also has other things going for it. Bremen is kind of a small town and has a huge, actually several ships there, and is a big fishing town as well. But it's smaller. You talk to somebody down by the docks, and you can actually see Spitz finishing up training some of the javelineers. Was that it? Was that it, Trax? Was that it? How do you spell javelineers?
It was. Oh shoot! Hang on. I had it pulled up. It was
no one retained that.
It was javelineer.
That's awesome.
Javelineer.
Wait, I said that as a joke, and that's real.
Yeah,
that was right.
Javelineer.
Turns out it wasn't a joke.
Grenadier.
You see Spitz kind of working with them and talking with them. You're talking to somebody who's working the docks, and they're actually trying to secure their boat. They're actually pulling it up on to land and getting it underneath the tarp and trying to hide it.
Priorities.
Yeah, you see them looking out over the lake and really worried, and they're just kind of they stop working and are staring. He says to his friend, who's helping him pull the boat up onto land, he says, "Surely they're not going out of the lake." And the friend says, "Maybe they think you think that they can defend themselves. Maybe they think they can take the dragon out in ship combat. That's unheard of. There's no fighters in Bremen." And you look past them, Brun, and you see several large sailing vessels sailing out from Bremen onto the lake.
That's interesting. You say they do not have fighters, but it seems they are going to fight.
I think they can outrun the dragon on the lake. I do not think they are correct in their assumptions. With enough those boats, like counting it's like 5 or 6 boats, and the boats are fairly decent size. I think they could get almost their entire town.
Perhaps if they are lucky, the dragon will pay them no mind.
Maybe that's what they're hoping for.
May they pass quietly. Anyway, back to your post. Where should you be right now?
I'm trying to save my livelihood. He's like pulling his boat and throwing a white tarp on top.
Your
of it.
life is more important.
He's kind of ignoring you.
Yeah, me too.
Fine.
So Spitz, you head down to the Three Flags sailing.
I'm hightailing it to Pottery
Pottery
Barn.
Barn? Okay.
Fang has gone into the common area of the Three Flags sailing. If he's the first in there, you see the bed ceiling thing in the common area right now. It's been cleared out.
Yeah, it's been cleared out.
He'll just sit at the foot of the bed and just put his head in his hands for a hot second and breathe.
Okay.
That's starting his rest, I guess.
Kyle go follow in as well and sit on the bed, but up towards the head of it. And he's going to form a hand seal, basically just taking a rest, but he's going to try and channel his ki into healing the remainder of his wounds.
You know that Ryan was able to rest. She told you that she was able to get some rest while you were unconscious.
How's her arm?
Still weak. It's still broken. She basically got a rest from resting it, like doing a long rest, but long rest isn't going to heal a broken arm.
Kai would just ask, "Where's your gun?"
Bottom of the lake.
Oh, God. You have something you can use?
This was my shooting arm. I feel kind of helpless. I mean, it's not going to come down here, and I mean, I still could take it out. And like, she pulls the dagger. You don't know where she got it from. It smells a little bit like fish guts.
Kyle take his hand on his hip and grab his own kunai dagger and set it in her hand and just say, "This might work better for you."
She kind of twirls it around. You were always better at these things.
Use what you can.
Get some rest. I'm gonna leave you alone with your friends. I'll be back.
Don't go too far.
Okay.
And he'll go back into meditation.
Spitz, you walk in.
Great.
I feel like this is a shopping episode. Like it's Did you see Fang?
We're just out in the open in the common area.
Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah.
Are they like actually asleep, or are they just like chilling?
You see Kai without his mask. Well, no, you never met Kai.
I don't know who that is. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you see a man. You see a man. You see Fang sitting kind of close next to him, kind of.
Yeah, Fang's just got his head in his hands. He's sitting at the foot of the bed, on the same bed as Kai, who's all bandaged up. But Fang he's not asleep. He's just got his head in his hands, just kind of, in his own world.
Spitz will probably slowly walk near you and just say, Fang, I hate to interrupt.
Picks his head up.
I did some math, as best as I can figure, and if the dragon wasn't stopping at the town, it'd get here in 2.5 hours. So I'm putting an estimate at about 4 to 6 at best.
Tourmaline is like one of the larger cities in Icewind Dale, so it might, if it took some time there, it might take a little bit of time. But
Great.
Lonelywood and Bremen are small.
Small, yeah. Probably closer to 6. If we get really lucky, we could get near 8. But I thought I'd let you know.
Do you think that Targos is as prepared as it's going to be?
We've got a lot of people there that are ready to do what they can. You know, the townies are stubborn folk, so they're not going to go down without a fight.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I think Brun and I have helped him out a little bit. I'll probably go back out there, but where is everyone else?
Donar has gone to fetch Trax, who has been alone and is otherwise unaware of the dragon's approach. I have not seen Brun, and he looks over to his right and he says, forgive me, Spitz." And he just points a fat thumb over towards Kai, and he says, this is Kai. He is in the group. We will introduce you later. But he's meditating, you know.
Great.
But
That's Scath was looking for him.
of that I have no doubt.
Yes, I just met him. Not very pleasant.
He's Icewind Dale's best babysitter, I hear.
Good for
Fuck you, Faye!
him. Well, I just thought I'd, help folks prepare a little bit. So I guess I'll go to the pottery barn, of all places, and see if I can find the others.
It is good of you, Spitz. I know that you do not know us well, but you know Icewind Dale better than any of us, and I'm glad that you are standing next to us today.
I'm glad to have you too. I couldn't do it myself, and to have folks like you who are ready to fight for the Dale, it means a lot. Now, try to get some rest. I'll give you updates when I can.
And gives her with a nod, and just kind of slowly puts his head back in his hands.
And then off she goes.
Okay. As you walk out, you see this albino tiefling, and she's got short white hair, little tiny little horns, furs, and she's holding a staff with a white crystal on top of this, kind of glowing with a soft light. And standing on either side of her are two stone gargoyles, one rather tall and one kind of short. And she's just kind of like sitting and watching the destruction across the lake. She's like, "Hello,
Hello?
my name's Avarice. You must be friends with Hottie McHottie in there."
Well, I just met him about a day ago, or at some point today. But yes, I'm Spitz. Nice to meet ya.
Nice to meet you. This is Gargle and Gurgle.
Creative names, I see.
Hmm.
Are you preparing for the fight?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I have things I need to do, but your friends in there have piqued my interest.
They'll do that, it would seem. I know we literally just met, but if you're weighing your options, we could use all hands on deck. And I think we've got a good shot at this.
I've seen what Kai can do. I don't know what the rest of his friends can do. If they're anything like him, I think we've got a shot at this.
Got the whole town. Well, not the whole town, but a good bit of the town ready to fight too.
We just have to take it down. Get it. I think if we can get it on the ground, perhaps we have a shot.
I agree. Do you have any ideas of how we could do that?
Unfortunately, no. The spells I have prepared. I wish I had time to go through my spell book and take a long rest, as it were.
What we wouldn't all do for a rest. I suppose I know that Fang's in there, and Kai, was it? I think has given it a go. My best estimates from what I know of the Dale are around 6 hours, 8 if we're lucky.
Perhaps we have time.
Give it a shot if you can.
Rest up, Spitz. The fight will come sooner than we expect.
Surely.
And she kind of wanders off, and the two lumbering gargoyles thump, 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 thump behind her. And she goes down to the shore, to like the frozen lake, to one of the piers, walks out onto the pier. and looks out over the lake. Donar, you get to the pottery barn.
Somehow, I imagine Donar running through the streets, knowing he has to get there, but not knowing how to get there. So he's like, "Oh, look at pottery barn! Dragonborn looking for a pottery barn. Anybody point me in the direction?"
I'm sorry, this is
I think they were thinking about putting up a billboard, but it's been a while.
the crate
Those billboards are
and
everywhere.
barrel.
I see a crate. I see a barrel. I'm looking for a barn.
You just gotta go. There's an elm up there. Just go west of the elm. Just west elm. How many generic bougie stores can we name?
I'm out. I'm looking for like a market. Oh, never mind. Just keep going.
You find the pottery barn.
A Marshalls.
But Donna's gonna burst in and say, "Trax!
What?
Don't want me? There's dragon shit happening, dude. I don't know how soon it is, but like I was sent to come not guard you, but like be with you because things are getting dangerous, dude. I don't know how soon.
I appreciate it, but I don't think that the mugs are going to attack me.
Donar immediately gets distracted by all of the cookware. Oh, frick. If we got some time, do you mind? He's going to find like an attendant. And say,
it's the old guy at the front. He's like, "How can I help you?"
"Oh, sir, would you mind if I just like window shop? I might buy something. Might as well, right?"
"Your coin is good here. Look as long as you like."
Trax, do you need anything from me, dude? Can I help you?
Do your thing.
All right. Donar's going to browse.
Okay.
The ceramic cookware and whatever.
Lots of like cheap utensils that, like just random stuff that look like little, it has like gimmicky kind of things, but don't
single
really work
use
that well.
Like a pineapple slicer.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
So you shop for a little bit and you find anything you need. Tell me what you're wanting and I'll price it for you. But
unless there's something spectacular, Donar doesn't use single-use kitchen items.
Nothing that matches the majesty of the frying pan.
Oh, no. Not at all.
No. You wait. The rest of you that are resting, 2 hours pass. 3 hours pass. 4 hours pass. 5 hours pass. 6 hours pass. And the lights and the booms and explosions across the lake stop. And you just hear silence. 30 minutes pass. And you don't see any like lightning flashes, but you do hear loud echoing booms of buildings being wrecked. Quickly, actually. And it sounds like it's coming from further north, where Lonelywood is.
To kind of distract some people from the destruction towns, and not to like lighten the mood, but just to make that not the only thing we're hearing, Brun is going to pull out his shakuhachi, which is something he's, I think, maybe pulled out once this whole campaign. It's that long, like, bamboo kind of Japanese flute. And he's just going to kind of play that for a bit, just as something else to hear other than destruction and screams and stuff.
You don't really hear any screams. You just hear, because it's so far away, just the booms. But it's unsettling.
Yeah.
Because it's like silence, and then suddenly just like you hear the crunching of wood, and like sometimes you can see like a little small fire light up, and like a little flicker of flame, but it gets extinguished pretty quickly. And as you're watching the lake, you see coming from the mountain that's towering above everything, as clouds kind of roll in, thick, dark clouds, and they just start coming down off of Kelvin's Cairn, and you see the wind start to pick up, and you just feel the wind coming from the north, hitting you in the face, biting into your flesh. The snow is coming. A blizzard is coming. As the storm front starts coming down, actually you can kind of see over the white of the clouds, you see the flickering form of the dragon beating its leathery wings against the white clouds for a second. And you see it bank suddenly and head kind of to the south. Like it's almost like you think it might be heading toward Targos. But then you see the ships in the middle of the lake. And it dives down. And over the lake you see several beams of light. Phew! And you hear screams. The boats, every single one of them, are sunk to the bottom of the lake by the dragon. And there's nothing you can do. And after it finishes, it flies westward toward Bremen. With that, your 8 hours of a long rest are complete.
Man, I want to throw up.
I know, it was so
Ron.
stressful.
Throughout that whole
Long
thing,
rest.
I just imagined the like juxtaposition of all the destruction and then that flute sound in the background.
Well, I'm going to try to find a
Creepy as
flute
hell.
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Listen, if Spitz was nearby, she would pull out her own flute and join.
I'm gonna
But I
change
didn't
my
want to ruin the
spells.
moment.
So this,
Flute.
yeah, it's
We
good.
accidentally start a band among the destruction.
Flautists who are also javelineers. Flutes are vaguely javelin shaped.
Yeah, and a pinch. Sure.
It'll do.
She's actually like talking with her. Some of you overhear her talking, Avarice talking with her gargoyles. And she's like paging through her books. And she says something about Wall of Force. I can't cast that yet. Curses. She's like, Wall of Fire, that'll do. That'll have to do. And she looks over at Spitz, and I think, the Wall of Force would be able to bring the dragon down to the ground, but if we could trick it into flying low enough, a Wall of Fire, I think it would fly right through, but it's all I've got.
If only we had lots of ropes and a thing to go
Like a net?
of some sort.
She looks over at the docks and all of the fishing equipment and all of the ropes neatly coiled onto the docks.
Spitz will look back and go, well, shit!
Where is everyone? We have to.
Let's do it.
Okay. Where is everybody at the end of the long rest? Trax?
I imagine leaving the pottery barn with his new space shuttle armor.
Donor's behind.
Chink, 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 chink.
So I imagine he kind of like spent the time kind of like mosaic, like it's almost like a mosaic on him.
It has that little kind of arch shape like a space
Right,
shuttle
right.
has. You're like aerodynamic now. I'm joking. I'm so
It's so small.
Donar,
He's
where
tiny
are
right now.
you?
I'm behind aerodynamic kobold.
You're drafting behind him.
Yeah. Dude, I've never walked this fast.
We're so fast right now.
Okay. Kai, what are you doing? What are you doing at the end of the long rest?
At the end, I will have finished my meditation and just kind of come back into the world and take stock.
Ryan comes in and says, this is our last shot. Speaker Nerith is already there. He's in Bryn Shander at a safe house.
You can go if you want, but I'm staying here.
I can't go. I'm not going to lose you again.
Then stay.
And she kind of goes off by herself, and she's deep in thought. Fang, what are you doing at the end of the long rest?
I think Fang fell asleep with his head in his hands. So he'll sit up. He won't really stand up. He'll just kind of like sit up and like crick his neck, stretch a little bit, roll his shoulders.
Mhm.
Kind of his fight prep that he's done in the past. He doesn't stand up. I don't think he gets up. I think he just still sits on the bed with this time with like his chin and his hands like he's just thinking, and he's probably muttering under his breath. Some prayers to Fultus, and then he kind of gets into that like praying to his parents again, like speaking with them, not praying to them, but
Right.
He's just overcome with worry. He feels better physically, but
Mhm.
he can't stop thinking about his parents.
You and Kai wake up from your long rest to find a small fish stew steaming hot next to you, each of you.
I'll eat that up.
Brun.
Brun has maybe found like a rooftop or something. He's sitting just like crisscross applesauce, playing his shakuhachi, just kind of with his eye on the lake / Bremen area, just kind of waiting.
Make a perception check. At disadvantage.
9.
The wind is really just picking up, and you can see the blizzard. It's a ways off. It definitely will be here in a few hours.
Cool.
An hour and a half later, the dragon arrives at Bremen to the west. You see one or two beams of light hit some of the buildings, and then it lands and just starts destroying every single building in town.
At this point, Boone would come down and start readying the troops that he had talked to before, just because I assumed they'd probably try to get some rest in all this time.
Yeah.
He's getting the town awake again.
It's been about 10 to 12 hours. People are nervous. The fact that the dragon isn't here yet has just got everybody freaked. And you're spending a lot of your time kind of calming people down. You actually hear Scath and some of Scath's lieutenants basically going around and cussing people out. If you do not put on a brave face, you will die. You hear like things like that. It's a little kind of undermining a little bit of what you've been doing all day long, Brun.
That is not a way to lead an army of villagers. Fear will not help us here.
It will keep them strong. It will keep them alive.
He who fears something gives it power over them. You are not enabling them at all. You cannot be afraid either.
Scath just kind of sneers and says, I think I liked mud better. And he leaves.
At some point after the net realization,
Yeah.
Spitz would have sprinted trying to find Trax because he is probably the smartest person she knows.
You find Trax coming out of the pottery barn, like kind of coming. Trax, where are you and Donar headed?
Over to the Luskin Arms River. Or no, everyone was at three flags, right? Yeah, so we're heading that way.
When she finds him, she'll say, Trax, you're probably the smartest person I know and the first person who could figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I know at least I am, but I assume for everyone else, we're all better at close range, right?
Yes.
We're in a fucking fishing town. If we can think of a way to use all of these nets to, trick the dragon, if it gets in near one of the garrisons or something, and capture it and tie it down, we've got a lot better odds. And I don't know anybody who could come up with a better plan for that than you.
Spitz, you're on the same page as me. I actually was thinking of a way to make sure that dragon stays on the ground.
Great. Wonderful. Okay. I await orders or ideas.
Just to help speed things along, everybody's kind of scattered. Where would you like to meet up?
Probably back at the Three Flags.
Yeah,
Three
right,
Flags?
I think so.
Okay. Brun, you're kind of the last to arrive of the regular group. Brun, you actually, as you're walking back, Velen joins you with her 12. How many kobolds? It's like a bunch. There's a bunch of kobolds.
Just a bunch.
Bunch.
So
Too many.
It's double digits at least. So.
Oh god.
And like 12, I think. And she's walking along with you. Do you think we have a chance?
I do. There's something about the spirit of this city. I have seen it before.
You're a natural leader, Brun. I can see it in you.
It has been a while since I got to step into those shoes. We'll see if I have earned what I have done before.
You come around the corner. The rest of you are there. Valen's with you. Standing outside with... Who's outside currently? Who's inside and who's outside? Let me figure this out.
I imagine Donar and Trax are outside.
Yes,
Probably.
it's probably just caught up with us and we're walking up.
Got it. Fang, are you inside?
Yeah, probably still inside.
Kai, you're inside. Ryan's inside. Brun, you and Valen come around the corner, and Avarice is standing there with her gargoyles. And Valen just stops and just glares at Valen. And Avarice turns and looks at Valen and says, "My dear, dear Valen, where have you been? Ever since poor Nas left us." And Valen says, "You bitch. We were supposed to work together. Why did you leave?" And you see Avarice kind of twisting her staff, and the light of the crystal starts to glow bright. And you see kind of energy crackling in Avarice's hands. And the two gargoyles start taking a defensive stance. And Valen says, "Listen, there is danger coming. I know we agreed to go our separate ways. Perhaps this is the test. May the best wizard win. Or may the best wizard survive, actually," Valen says. And Avarice says, "Come on." And she walks off with the gargoyles, and you see the raven land on her shoulder and walk out. Valen's like, "She would do no good to us. She will betray you at a moment's notice."
Have I met her before? Has Brun met her before?
Avarice? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, I was like trying to look
No.
through my notes and was like,
You don't-
do I?
you had
I don't
no
think
idea.
Okay.
You have no idea who this. It was a albino tiefling with small horns and a short bob cut.
Great. She was not pleasant.
That probably would have stuck out.
I hope you're the one that survives.
Savage.
Thank you. I think she wants me dead. She would see me dead before I got to the Netherese city before she did.
Well, I like you alive, so you will stay that way.
I trust you, and I appreciate your protection, Brun. Shall we go inside and prepare for death or victory?
In we go. Odds are Donar has prepared quite the death feast.
Oh, dude, I'm outside. Hey.
Oh.
Hello.
No, I've just been silent, trying not to fuck it up. Trax and I were at Pottery Barn. I haven't cooked shit, but I can.
We just watched that whole very awkward interaction.
Yeah, dude.
So there's
A lot.
no food. All right, well.
I could whip up something, how quick do you think we have, dude? I'm on it.
I would say not a lot of time. Perhaps.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. I usually just have cooked meat.
Done.
Oh, you wait. You just wait until he whips something up.
It takes 2 hours to prepare. Valen goes in, orders. It actually just goes behind the bar. Ma doesn't stop her. She picks up a bottle of something, rot gut, pours out, just puts some shot glasses on the table, hands one out to each of you. But she says, "To the beginning and the end of something." And she raises a shot glass.
The end of that feckin' dragon.
That's what I'm hoping.
Trax isn't going to take the shot.
Whoa, Trax. We're all shooting, dude.
He's gonna look at it and say, "I think I've had enough of this." And he's gonna slam it back down.
Oh, wow. Giving it all. We can talk about this after the dragon, if you want.
Yeah, more pressing matters, but I think I need to stop.
All right, dude. Good for you.
Kyle slide his hand across the table and grab his shot in one of his fingers
Oh, Jesus Christ!
and just double barrel them.
Kai, what the fuck did you come
Oh,
from?
I'm not there.
No, you're there.
No, I just didn't notice you.
Trax didn't know you were.
Wait, who?
And Kai just says, "Cheers to number 3," and takes the shot and slams it on the table. Just says, "Fall 7 times, stand up 8.
And that is why you were covered in bandages before.
Spitz will lean down and say, Number 3, what does that mean? To Trax.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I guess it's
As long as we're on the same page.
I guess it's maybe his third life, his third. He's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are strange. Okay. Thank you. She has to lean very far.
Just lifts him up by his armpits like a baby.
Picks him up and is like, "What's going on?"
I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Puts him back down.
Brun never touched his shot glass.
Last time I saw this thing, I tried to take it on myself. It'll be nice to do it with friends.
Yeah, like everything, dude. We got your back.
We're glad to have you with us.
I'm Spitz.
Oh, right. This is Spitz. She's. We'll explain later.
I want to go cook
Yeah.
some meat.
I thought she was a refugee.
Thank you. Sure not, I'm the bear lady. Not the bear lady, but the other one.
Claire, would you like to describe Spitz? Because I don't think Kai has actually heard this description before.
Oh, yeah, I would love to. Okay, so Spitz...
Wait, hang on. Not the bear lady?
Don't worry about it. She is a 7'2" Goliath. She has just like crazy voluminous hair that's been pulled back in a bunch of braids, but noticeably, they kind of make little buns on the top of her head that look a lot like bear ears.
Nice.
Her hair starts as like an auburny brown, and at the end, it slowly becomes this like fiery red. She's wearing a lot of like white pelts, much like a wildling from Game of Thrones.
Sweet.
She has this necklace that has a lot of bear teeth and claws, as well as a bracelet that has the same and some crystals. Currently, she has a ton of fucking javelins just stashed everywhere she can.
Nice.
And she has like a sandstone skin, but she has like burnt sienna markings around her eyes and her hands. And yeah, and also she has some nice fangs sticking out of her mouth.
Sweet. I imagine the scene from Seven Deadly Sins with like assault mode Meliodas looking up at High Noon Escanor.
Yeah. She's
Nice to
very
meet
large. It's good to meet you too. I've heard some things about you, and we're glad to have. I'm glad to have anybody who's willing to help us fight this dragon along with us.
Trax and Donar, there is a red-haired lady at the end of the bar, and she's just been watching this whole thing kind of silently.
Hang on.
She's actually been playing with one of Kai's kunai.
Kai.
She has a broken arm.
Kai.
Yeah.
Is that who I think it is?
Does Ryan know Trax?
Yeah. Not on the best terms.
Well, she gets up when she sees Trax. She looks at you,
Look.
Kai, and says, like, puts her hand up and just like shuts Trax up and says, "You know where to find me." And she goes up to you, gives you a kiss, takes your kunai, puts it in her pocket, in her belt, and walks out the front door.
You know what? I'm going to let it slide since obviously she was integral in bringing you here, but let's just say I'm glad I don't have my gun.
Be glad she doesn't have your gun.
Well, I'm glad that we don't... you know what? She's gone.
And neither of you have guns.
No.
Good.
Maul goes, "What's a gun?"
What is it?
Oh,
I
it's
don't
crazy.
know either.
It's loud. It's messy.
And outside, the sounds of destruction from Bremen stop. And you hear people get down by the docks, starting to move up to higher ground. And you hear people murmuring outside. You hear dogs barking. What do you do?
Well, boys, this is our cue.
I think it's time.
As she says that, Fang will reach over and take Brun's undrank shot and throw that back and slam it down say, now or never.
Wait. I got somewhere I need to go.
You've got to be fucking shitting me.
Where you gotta go, dude? Right now.
What was his name again? The Scrimshander. He's the guy that saved us. What was his
Keegan.
name?
Oh, Garrett.
Garrett and Keegan.
Garrett, yeah. I need to go to Garrett's house.
No, you don't. And Brun will hand out the package, and he'll give Kai's first.
And Kyle take it and unwrap it. Just what I was looking for. And he'll plant the mask on his face.
It fits perfectly on your face as if it was designed.
Yeah.
Like there's not
Like
even like
that
straps or
Doctor
anything.
Who episode.
And Brun will hand the package to Fang and say, I was saving this for after the fight. But I figure you never know, and I would not want you to go without this.
Fang will open it up and unravel or whatever's in there.
It's the Scrimshaw sculpture of your parents, but it's a very close likeness. It's a little stylized, like all Scrimshaw is.
Fang will take that out and just kind of in the shock of it being so accurate. He doesn't meet Brun's gaze and can't say anything for a second. He stares at him, he looks up at Brun and goes to say something, and it gets caught. He just starts nodding his head during that and doesn't actually say anything, but is gesturing his sincerest gratitude. Kind of biting his lower lip a little bit, and you see it quiver. Just a hair.
And in the distance, you hear Captain Scath. Dragon incoming! To arms! You all go outside, and you see the ballistas are manned up on the bluff, and they're looking, and you see people pointing to the west, and you can kind of see a dark shape blotting out the stars, and its greasy black wings stretching out as it approaches the walls of the city and opens its mouth wide, and inside a mote of yellowish light starts to beam brightly, and it grows and beams out, and that's where we're going to stop for the evening.
Right.
Greasy wings.
That was a
Greasy.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the
like an
wings
icon.
are, I didn't describe it as well last week, but it's like because they're man-made, they're
Yes.
not organic.
Leathery was fine, but you said greasy, and I said no.
Yeah, because they're kind
Oil,
of
it's
wet.
they
No.
need to
Yeah.
move. So that's
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oil can.
Oh.
they're the wings are moist.
No, Zach, no, get out of here.
Goose.
And my name is Ron Murphy, and you can find me on Twitter at Ron88KeysRBDM. Please subscribe and leave us a review on Podchaser or Apple Podcasts, and share us with all of your friends. Follow us on Twitter at Severed Sons DND, and join our Discord. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast, D&D Beyond, Roll20, and a thank you to Syrinscape, Andre Sitkoff, and to Monument Studios with amazing sound effects and music. Stay frosty!
Bing, 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 bing.